Welcome everybody to break 18036. This is our 2526 12-tin case random. All right, 32 spots in this one. We have Aaron, Mark, Andrew, Darcy 44, Mark, T Brown, Farsangi, Paul, Mikey, Aaron, Elvis 62, Davey, Aaron, Paul, Big Pappy, Paul, Batwing, Stephen, Kyle, Redfire, Stephen, Aaron, Paul, Terrelyn, Mike, Aaron, Daniel, Kyle, Stephen, Paul, and Moose. Copy those across the randomizer. Aaron at the top, Moose at the bottom. Aaron down to Moose. Here we go 4 times. 1. Thinking. There you go. 2, 3, and 4. Mark down to Andrew. Mark down to Andrew. Teams Anaheim down through to Winnipeg. Anaheim down through to Winnipeg 4 times. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Utah down to St. Louis. Utah down to St. Louis. Here we go with your teams. Mark with Utah, Paul, Calgary, Farsangi, Boston, Stephen with Buffalo, Darcy 44, the Rangers, Paul with Montreal, Paul Cobb with Montreal, Paul Coutinho with Tampa, Terrelyn with Toronto, Redfire with Chicago, Elvis 62 with Vegas, Mikey with Colorado, Aaron with Washington, Kyle with Philadelphia, T Brown with Anaheim, Kyle with the Islanders, Batwing, Florida, Stephen with San Jose, Paul Cobb with New Jersey, Daniel with Minnesota, Moose with Edmonton, Paul Cobb with Pittsburgh, Mikey with Seattle, Big Pappy Vancouver, Mark with Dallas, Mike with Carolina, Aaron with Nashville and Winnipeg, Davey with Ottawa, Stephen Detroit, Aaron with Columbus and Los Angeles, and Andrew with St. Louis. A couple of minutes for trades. All right, no trade talk. Let's jump right into the break. All right, here we go, everyone. Good luck. 12 tins of Series 1. hit a Demidov. At least one. Young Gun Canvas, Sam Rinzel for Chicago. Jack Finley, Young Guns for Tampa. Compositions of Anze Kopitar. Mark Stone, Glossy for Vegas. Tracking Systems, Aiden Hill. Goal-oriented, Austin Matthews. Outburst of Alex Turcotte for LA. Mark Stone, Encore Vegas. Sizzle Reel of Kyle Connor. Nick Suzuki, Glossy for Montreal. Sizzle Reel of Philip Forsberg and William Eklund Portraits. Evan Bouchard, Encore for Edmonton. Tyler Toffoli, Macklin, Celebrini, Compadres. Ian Moore, Young Guns for Anaheim. Canvas of Owen Power for Buffalo. Mark Stone, Glossy, and Connor Bedard, Cup Quest. Jeremy Swayman, Tracking Systems. Noah Ostlund, Young Guns for Buffalo. Tyler Toffoli, Compositions. Ivan Demidov, Glossy for the Montreal Canadiens. Uri Slafkovsky, Encore. Brady Tkachuk, Bustle. Brandon Hagel, Dazzlers, Orange. Tim Stützle, Dazzlers, Orange. And Sebastian Aho, Orange. Tin number 2. Oliver Moore, Encore for Chicago. Sizzle Reel of Quinn Hughes and Carson Dorwart for Philadelphia. Canvas Logan Cooley. Gabe Perreault, Glossy for the Rangers, and Patrick Laine for Montreal. Compadres of Jack Hughes, Luke Hughes for New Jersey. Jacob Gaucher, Young Guns for Philadelphia, and Thatcher Demko, Cup Quest. Gabe Perreault, Glossy for the Rangers. Frank Vetrano, Encore for Anaheim. Jordan Binnington, Tracking Systems. Jonathan Marchessault, Bustle Speckle. Sam Rinzel, Young Guns for Chicago. Nazem Kadri, Portraits for Calgary. Jonathan Huberdeau, Glossy for Calgary. Samuel Urson, Tracking Systems. Goal-oriented of Steven Stamkos. Josh Anderson, Outburst for Montreal. Devon Tays, Encore for Colorado. Kirill Marchenko, Goal-oriented. Zane Perrick, Glossy for Calgary. Nathan McKinnon, Sizzle Reel, and Jake Gunsel, Compositions. Dazzlers Black Parallel of Leon Draisaitl, Edmonton. Dazzlers of Adrian Kempe and Dustin Wolf. Dazzlers for Calgary. Tin number 3. Ryan Leonard, Glossy for Washington. Andrei Vasilevsky, Encore. Seth Jarvis, Bustle. Ovechkin and Wilson, Compadres. Tim Washy, Young Guns for Anaheim. Kirill Kaprizov, Cup Quest. Troy Terry, Anaheim Glossy. Philip Gustafson, Tracking Systems, and Compositions of David Pasternak. Sergei Bobrovsky encore for Florida, Connor Hellebuck Cup Quest, and Justin Robidas, Young Guns for Carolina. Igor Shesterkin encore for the Rangers, sizzle reel of Matthew Knies, and Nikita Tolopilo, Young Guns for Vancouver. Owen Tippett, canvas for Philadelphia, Victor Hedman glossy for Tampa, Quinn Hughes portraits. Kachuk and Barkov compadres, Young Guns of Dalibor Dvorsky for St. Louis, and Tage Thompson Cup Quest. Roman Josi glossy for Nashville, David Pasternak encore, Sam Reinhard Bustle. Lane Hudson Dazzlers for the Montreal Canadiens, Kyle Connor for Winnipeg, and Leon Draisaitl for Edmonton. Tin number 4. Uri Slafkovsky glossy for Montreal, Dylan Holloway Bustle, Nikita Kucherov goal oriented. Travis Sanheim encore Philadelphia, sizzle reel of Mason Marchment, Nicholas Akako, Young Guns for Seattle. Dylan Cousins, canvas for Ottawa, Artem Levshinov, Chicago glossy, and Nick Suzuki compositions. Makar and McKinnon compadres, Riley Duran, Young Guns for Boston, Alex Ovechkin portraits. Jesper Bratt, glossy for New Jersey, Philip Forsberg encore Nashville, Moritz Seider a Bustle. Cole Caulfield, canvas for Montreal, Yanni Nyman, Young Guns for Seattle, and Jack Hughes compositions. Travis Konechny glossy Philadelphia, Tracking Systems Elvis Merzlikins, Dalibor Dvorsky, St. Louis canvas, portrait, sorry, St. Louis portraits. Cale Makar encore for Colorado, Luke Evangelista sizzle reel, and Gabe Perreault, Young Guns for the Rangers. Red of Brandon Hagel, Dazzlers for Tampa, Adam Fox Rangers, and Jonathan Marchessault for Nashville. Tracking Systems, Igor Shesterkin for the Rangers, Colton Duck, Young Guns for Chicago, Matthew Barzal compositions. Artem Levshinov, glossy for Chicago, Tracking Systems, Mackenzie Blackwood, and Leon Draisaitl portraits. Alexandre Carrier for the Montreal Canadiens, Outburst, Alex Ovechkin encore, and Robert Thomas. Glossy Austin Matthews for Toronto, sizzle reel of Sebastian Aho, goal oriented of Sam Reinhart. Sizzle reel of Kirill Marchenko, Elias Pettersson, Young Guns for Vancouver, Quinn Hughes compositions. Canvas Darcy Kumper for LA, Jesper Bratt glossy New Jersey, Cale Makar portraits. Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl compadres, Skylar Brendamore, Young Guns for Carolina, Igor Shesterkin Cup Quest. Tage Thompson Glossy, Jordan Binnington Encore, Zach Werenski Bustle. William Eklund Dazzlers for San Jose, Dalibor Dvorsky Dazzlers St. Louis, and Noah Osland Dazzlers for Buffalo. Victor Hedman Glossy for Tampa, Matthew Nyes Encore, Sizzle Reel of Brady Tkachuk. Sizzle Reel of Sidney Crosby for Pittsburgh, Rodrigo Abels. Young Guns for Philadelphia, Cup Quest of Adrian Kempe. Jeremy Swayman Glossy for Boston, Sizzle Reel of Jacob Markstrom and Connor Bedard Compositions. UC Saros Encore for Nashville, Compositions of Kyle Connor and Mark Gatcomb, Young Guns for the Islanders. Alexander Barkov Glossy for Florida, Leo Carlson Bustle and Adam Fox Portraits. Andrei Svechnikov Encore for Carolina, UC Saros Tracking Systems, and Jacob Skarek, Young Guns for the Islanders. Jake Sanderson, Canvas for Ottawa, Alexander Barkov Glossy, Goal-Oriented of Elias Pettersson. Sizzle Reel of Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen, Ivan Demidov, Young Guns for the Montreal Canadiens. There he is. Austin Matthews Compositions. Cole Caulfield Dazzlers for Montreal, Jake Ottinger Dazzlers, and Lucas Raymond Dazzlers. Number 7. Hellebuck and Morrissey Compadres, Olivier Rodriguez Young Guns for Edmonton, Rasmus Dahlin. Troy Terry Glossy for Anaheim, Dylan Strome Encore for Washington, Pyotr Kochetkov Carolina. Tracking Systems Aiden Hill for Vegas, Dominic Shine, Young Guns for Detroit, and Artem Levshina, Portraits, Chicago. Glossy of Kirill Marchenko, Columbus, Kiefer Sherwood Bustle, Sidney Crosby, Goal-Oriented. Frank Clark, Encore for LA, Dylan Holloway Portraits, and Ryan Suzuki Young Guns for Carolina. Roman Josi Glossy for Nashville, Linus Olmark Tracking Systems, and Sidney Crosby Compositions. Marco Rossi Encore for Minnesota, Sam Reinhart Sizzle Reel, and Ethan Frank. Young Guns for Washington. Dougie Hamilton Canvas New Jersey, Artem Levshinov Glossy for Chicago, Gabe Pro Portraits. Dalibor Dvorsky Dazzlers for St. Louis, Noah Osland for Buffalo, and Cole Caulfield for Montreal. Logan Stankoven, Bustle for Carolina. Colton Dach, Young Guns for Chicago. And Timo Meier, Cup Quest. Uri Slafkovsky Glossy for Montreal. Macklin Celebrini Encore. Thatcher Demko Tracking Systems. Young Gun Canvas Jack Finley. Elias Pettersson Young Guns Vancouver. And Matty Beniers Compositions. Jared McCann Glossy for Seattle. Cale Makar Colorado. Brandon Hagel Portraits. Outburst Connor Hellebuck for the Winnipeg Jets. Cole Caulfield Encore Montreal. Sizzle Reel Connor McDavid. Victor Hedman Glossy for Tampa. Panarin and Lafreniere Compadres. Goal oriented of Cole Caulfield. William Nylander Encore for Toronto. Darcy Kumper Tracking Systems. Skylar Brendamore Young Guns for Carolina. Alexis Lafreniere Canvas for the Rangers. Jeremy Swayman Glossy and Compositions of Philip Forsberg. Sebastian Aho Dazzlers for Carolina. Adrian Kempe for LA. And Dustin Wolf Dazzlers for Calgary. Next tin. DeBrincat and Larkin Compadres. Parker Ford Young Guns for Winnipeg. Kyle Connor Cup Quest. White Johnston Glossy for Dallas. Ivan Demidov Encore for Montreal. And Yaroslav Askarov Tracking Systems. Canvas Philip Gustafson for Minnesota. Matthew Wood. Young Guns for Nashville. Dylan Larkin Compositions. Uri Slafkovsky Glossy for Montreal. Lane Hudson Bustle. Goal oriented of Artemi Panarin. Encore Timo Meier for New Jersey. Logan Thompson Tracking Systems. Ryan Leonard Glossy for Washington. Sergei Bobrovsky Sizzle Reel. Dylan Holloway for the Blues. Portraits. Zane Perrick Encore for Calgary. Sizzle Reel of Austin Matthews and Young Guns Ryan Leonard for Washington. Canvas Ivan Barbashev for Vegas. Troy Terry Glossy for Anaheim. And Roman Josi Cup Quest. Lane Hudson Red Dazzlers for the Montreal Canadiens. William Eklund. Dazzlers Orange. And Dalibor Dvorsky for St. Louis. 3 to go. Artem Levshinov Encore for Chicago. Cup Quest Roman Josi and Jakob Skarek. Young Guns for the Islanders. Taste Thompson Glossy for Buffalo. Alex Tuck Bustle and Austin Matthews Portraits. Tracking Systems, Joey Decord for Seattle, Tim Washy, Young Guns for Anaheim, and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins Cup Quest. Roman Yossi, Canvas for Nashville, Mark Stone Glossy, and Tim Stutzla Compositions. Sizzle Reel of David Pasternak, Quinn Hudson, Young Guns for Edmonton, Cup Quest, William Eklund. Ivan Nemedov, Glossy Gold for Montreal, Seth Jones for Florida, Forsberg and Yossi Compadres. Sizzle Reel of Kyle Connor, Zane Perrick, Young Guns for Calgary, and Alex Ovechkin Compositions. Austin Matthews, Glossy for Toronto, Samuel Montembeault Tracking Systems, and Jesper Bratt, Goal Oriented. Dazzlers, Leon Draisaitl, Adam Fox for the Rangers, and Jonathan Marchessault for Nashville. Noah Dobson Encore for the Islanders, goal-oriented of Artemi Panarin. Another one of those packs with just 2 hits. Jesper Bratt, Glossy for New Jersey, Sizzle Reel of Kent Johnson, Brady Tkachuk, goal-oriented. Sizzle Reel of Leon Draisaitl for Edmonton, Jacob Gaucher, Young Guns for Philadelphia, and Marco Rossi Compositions. Alex Ovechkin Canvas for Washington, Travis Konechny Glossy for Philadelphia, Moritz Seider Portraits. Tracking Systems, Dustin Wolf for Calgary, Sam Rinzel, Young Guns for Chicago, Chris Kreider Cup Quest. Austin Matthews, Glossy Gold for Toronto, Mackenzie Weegar for Calgary, Matt Boldy Bustle. Zach Werenski Bustle for Columbus, Carson Dorwart, Young Guns for Philadelphia, Connor McDavid Compositions. Lucas Raymond Glossy, Detroit, Philip Grubauer Tracking Systems, Connor Bedard Portraits. Dazzlers pack. Orange Jared McCann for Seattle, Brandon Hagel. Tampa, Tim Stutzla, Dazzlers for Ottawa. Final tin. If you can't hit another Demidov. Troy Terry Glossy for Anaheim, Zane Perrick, Encore, and Darcy Kumper, Tracking Systems. Tracking Systems, Andrei Vasilevsky for Tampa, Jacob Gaucher, Young Guns Philadelphia, Sidney Crosby Gold Oriented. Kirill Marchenko Glossy for Columbus, Owen Tippett Bustle, and Sidney Crosby Compositions. Dylan Strome Encore for Washington, Sebastian Aho Compositions. Roman Yossi Glossy for Nashville, Sizzle Reel of Cole Perfetti, Gabe Perreault Portraits. Tracking Systems, Cam Talbot. Noah Ostlund, Young Guns for Buffalo. William Eklund, Cup Quest. Nikita Kucherov, Canvas for Tampa. Jeremy Swayman, Glossy, and Alex Ovechkin, Compositions. Sizzle Reel of Mason McTavish, Demidov, and Levshinov. Young Gun Checklist, random at the end, and Jesper Bratt. And our Dazzlers, Dustin Wolf again, Morgan Geeky, and Dougie Hamilton. All right, we're on one random for the checklist. All right, Montreal and Chicago. Here you go 4 times. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Going to Montreal. All right, that does it for break 18036, our Series 1 12-tin case random. Hope you enjoyed it, guys. Thanks very much.